Hi, I'm Bartholomew Bland.
I'm Matt Nasser.
And I'm Claudia Baez. And our guest today is John Volk. He's a continuing studies director of the New York Academy of Art. Hi, John.
Hi. It's nice
How did
to
you
be
get
here.
started in all your wonderful job that you've helped me so much? Because I go to John, I'm like, John, I want to sign up for this class, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there. So I was a stockbroker in the 80s, and it was a miserable time to be a stockbroker, and had a tough go of it, and then worked for Radisson Hotels for a number of years. And eventually I just hated doing what I was doing, so I went back to school. And when I went back to school, I didn't know what to study, except that I had loved physics. So for a year, I took physics courses. And physics is, when you start out, it's like, oh, stars, planets, and it's all mathematics. And after a year of studying math, I told my advisor, I need a break. I need just one fun class. And I took a drawing class. And
John is a great artist, by the way.
yeah,
I own one of your
artist.
paintings. I love your work.
Thank you very much. So I took art, and thankfully my drawing teacher was the printmaker at the school that I was at, and developed a love for drawing, painting, and printmaking. Then I decided that I wanted to expand, because I was in the middle of Minnesota. Decided I wanted to further my education, and I had read about this place called the New York Academy of Art, which was kind of, at the time in the 90s, early 90s, it was a little bit of a throwback. Where everyone else was very conceptual, they were talking about image making and the human figure. So I enrolled. I got accepted and enrolled, and stayed here and studied, and stayed here for a number of years after, and was exhibiting until September 11th, and then the art world changed. So at that
How
point,
did it change?
so many galleries closed, and where I had been exhibiting closed. And so at the time, I had no real prospects and didn't know what to do. So I took a teaching job in Jacksonville, Florida, which I loved the teaching, really struggled with Jacksonville. It's so hot. And so after 9 months of teaching, I was like, education, this is it. And took a job at Minnesota State University.
So cold.
Yeah. Yeah, the winters are brutal. And became the head of the printmaking program, Minnesota State Moorhead. And then was offered a job here. But while I was in Minnesota, every summer I brought students from Minnesota to New York. We rented out studios at the New York Academy of Art. I taught them at the New York Academy of Art. At first, the idea was not to, I'm going to expand all these students' horizons. The idea was, I need to get back to New York. I'm just so, I was in the middle of Minnesota. And so I did. And when I brought the students here, when they came back, they thrived. After experiencing New York and seeing how the art world works, and they just were like enamored with it. And they would all go to, not all of them, but a lot of them went to great graduate schools. Some of my students are running programs at other institutions, other great schools. So it was really successful. And
So then from being an artist, you graduated to being the director?
yeah, they invited me to come work at the academy. And I started by running the continuing education program. And then I developed the summer residency, which was like my Minnesota trip. And then I developed the Certificate of Fine Arts program, which is a different funnel. More non-traditional students follow that path into the MFA program. And so everything that's not the MFA program is what I do.
You were telling me earlier that you have that summer program where younger artists come to just experience New York as well as taking art classes. And I feel like how the art world works is if you want to be in a city, learning just how to be a person in that city is a big part of the battle, it seems. Or
it's a huge part of that was, again, part of how when I moved here originally, I had no place to live. I got a room at McBurney Y, which was on 24th Street at the time. And it had a methadone clinic in it. It was a little bit of a scary place. And I didn't want people to have to go through that. So yeah, that's a lot of why we have the summer residency. It's a really great program to expose people to the city and to expose students to what the academy does.
How did you get in?
It's easy. It's just an application process. On our website.
I was thinking we should back up for a moment and just talk a little bit about the very interesting history of the New York Academy of Art and what it is exactly for some of our listeners who may not be familiar with the Academy.
Sure. So it's a little. So in the 80s, there were a group of artists that got together, and in the early 80s, and they recognized that skill-based training was disappearing.
Falling apart. Right?
Yeah, it really was in the art world. That conceptual training was all the rage, but schools were not teaching technique. And so the New York Academy was founded somewhat like an atelier at first to teach those skills in the early 80s, and they developed an MFA program.
I thought it was interesting that Andy Warhol was such an early big proponent of the program, and he left the money that became the Franklin Street student place that you're now at. Right?
Yeah. Andy was pretty classically trained himself, and so he found like-minded people at the academy. And when we moved to Franklin Street, when it was the Warhol Foundation that helped us buy the building.
And that must have been happening just as you were coming to New York, right?
2 years before I got there. It was really, I was going to say it was a really remarkable place, but it is now even more so. I liked it. Back then it was a great school. But now it's the place that I would have wanted to come if I had known back then, because it's an amazing place.
That place gets a lot of money from the fundraising that they do with the. They had an amazing president. Yeah. I figure that David
Kratz. Yeah, he was an outstanding president.
So good. Mm-hmm. I realized, how does the art world work? You need a David Kratz to get you the money. Because you need money.
Yeah, we were pushed pretty hard because we're a very small school doing big things with a real small staff. And, to keep tuition down, we need money. So we have 2 large events, which, thankfully we have an incredibly capable staff that we put on these 2 events, Take Home a Nude and Tribeca Ball, which are incredibly successful.
And a lot of that money is going towards scholarships, right? You're very heavily subsidizing your students.
That's exactly what we're doing. It's important that we run those events. But again, having a small school with 2 huge events, it's it takes its toll. It really does. But it's a small group of people doing wonderful things.
So for the two events, how does it start? I mean, they're 6 months apart, right? As minute one finishes, are you starting work on the next one?
Like the next day.
The nuts and bolts.
You get like one day off, and then they start planning. I'm not kidding. It's seriously what happens. So Take Home a Nude we do in the fall. It's been at Benett Sotheby's for a long time. We're at other venues now. And then we do Tribeca Ball at the Academy in the spring, where we invite the art world in.
And in that planning, are you hustling artists to give you work that's going to be auctioned? What are sort of all the things that are entailed in the development process?
There's so much involved in it. And we're hustling artists, especially. There's a lot of people that believe in what we do, and they're real strong supporters. They'll come to the event. They'll donate artwork to be auctioned at the event. It's that's pretty remarkable in and of itself.
I've had great times at these events, and they're also star-studded. You have celebrities come and bid on work. I mean, are they also you're getting them to come? Are they a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both. Because it is such a star-packed thing, people want to come. There's a lot of demand for tickets, especially for Tribeca Ball, which is a red carpet
Should I
event.
make it all about me? I had a painting at Take Home a Nude once, and Liv Schreiber, he was walking around, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get him to bid on my painting. So I went up to him, and I said, will you bid on my painting? And he looks at me, and he goes, where is it? I said, it's all the way over there. He's like, I'm walking this way. I said, well, when you get to my painting, I'll point you. So I was embarrassed, but I said, who cares? So he walked around, and I waited. When he got to my painting, I go, that one. And he bid on it. And it was getting close to the end of the auction. And I stood there. He was the last name. I had gotten a few bids. And the time to end comes, and this one guy comes over and quickly puts his name under it, under Liv. And I said, excuse me, please take off your name. I will give you any painting. You come to my studio, you pick, I mail you, whatever you want, just take off your name.
And he wouldn't do it, right?
He wouldn't do it.
Of course not. So
it's probably Liv Schreiber's cousin who was like, get me out.
That was so upsetting.
It's a crazy event. It's a crazy event, incredibly competitive and really exciting because of that. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I've broken up arguments several times. And I say the same thing. They have more work in their studio. Just go to their studio.
Exactly.
But it's a real.
And now it's a terrible nightmare because there's no longer putting on the name.
Yeah.
Now it's this
all digital
scanning
now.
something. Yep. Oh my God! I don't like that. Progress is not for me.
Can't hold back the tide.
But that's an interesting point. In these events, you're showcasing various levels of artists from their different careers. So you're really, even as helping your institution, you're also helping artists, getting them, showcasing them.
Exposing. Yeah. It's great.
Some artists like me, we submit and maybe we get accepted, maybe we don't get accepted.
Yeah,
like the big
you get
names,
accepted
the big
pretty
names,
much.
The big names are
We have
harder
to
to
seek
pursue.
them out
Exactly.
sometimes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have to seek out the big names, but your work gets in pretty frequently, I think.
It gets in.
Yeah. The events are great, but I thank God for them because
they keep going.
Yeah,
and how big of a team do you have working on these events?
The team. Yeah, if I told you, you would be floored. They're
A
in
platoon
planning.
of assistants.
No, there's maybe four people do all the planning. Now, then there's a whole, we all dive in to help out, once it gets rolling, because they become these
so big.
Yeah, it's much much bigger than we should. But we have an events director, an exhibitions director. Leslie is our development director and our president. And the four of them are really the key to putting those events on.
A question, you and Leslie, who's sitting just off camera right here at the gallery, you're both practicing artists. You've both been artists for a long time. So that sort of led me to ask, like, is your administration full of people who have been either practicing artists or are still practicing artists?
I mean, yeah.
I think that's really, I think that's very interesting because a lot of places sort of get taken over by kind of, we won't say pencil pusher administrators, but, people who might be further removed from the studio, as it were. So that's interesting.
pretty much. They're all, our president, Paul Provost, his history is in art history. Yes. He's not a practicing artist, but he's been in the art world significantly for years and years. So we are all part of it.
And do the students, when they graduate from the New York Academy, they easily find a gallery to go to?
You know how it is. It's super challenging, but we really try to give them a leg up as much as possible. Hence Tribeca Ball, bringing the gallery or the art world into the academy.
Into the studios.
Yeah.
It opens all the studios.
Yeah, they come through the studios and they get to see, there have been a number of people that have gotten their career started instantly by somebody tweeting or posting on Instagram something about their work, and their work just explodes. So that happens. More often, students, a gallerist will come through the academy. We love to have the art world in. And they'll come through and see some interesting artists, and they'll start following them, and then they'll get into a show and eventually representation.
I find that there's a lot of projecting going on. Everything is like the projector, they're working with the iPad, working and making an image on your iPad.
There's
using a lot of
technology.
photographs.
Yeah.
I mean, I find that the academy is a little too much inclined towards that type of.
Some of the students.
I mean, I love the live, when you have the live drawing and the live painting, I love those classes, but.
Well, that's Claudia, an interesting question, which I was going to ask, which is how much do you think the ethos continues from the roots of sort of saying we need the classical training, and have you moved beyond that? Below it? Where is
I don't think we have. Either moved beyond, above, or below. I think our mission changed a little bit. Technical development towards having a conversation about the current art world, or having a conversation within the current art world, contemporary art. Because, you look around here, Zach Lank is a perfect example of one of the Academy alumni who his work is, the paint handling is incredible. It's beautiful, and he uses classical technique in pursuit of having a conversation with what's going on in the art world. And in life.
They're very...
So these are very much seated in culture here in the contemporary world. If you were just working technically, just simply learning to draw beautifully, learning to paint
That's
beautifully.
The General Academy, no?
That would be.
I've never taken a class there, but that is very strict, I hear.
Well, that would be more in pursuit of something that was a 19th century view of the world. So having technology does not necessarily, I remember having a class with Eric Fischel, and we had this discussion in the early 90s when I was a student. And Eric Fischel saying, don't you think if Rembrandt had the option of taking a digital photo. Don't you think that Rembrandt would use a digital photo in his work?
It's a good question.
It's a good question.
It's a good question. I would like to think that he wouldn't.
But think about people like Thomas Eakins, who, there was all the research done in the late 19th century. He started using photography, camera obscura, and all of his work.
Vermeer.
Yeah, exactly. So.
No, I know.
So you need to put more technology into your work.
No, I'm not going to put any technology in it.
The podcast is enough, I think.
Yes, that's right.
This is all the technology I can handle.
So what is the next what is the next big event that you have coming up? We're obviously coming to the end of the semester, right?
Yeah, so our students, we just had commencement. So we sent a whole new group of students out into the world. We also just selected 3 new fellows. So every year we select 3 alumni to come back and do a fellowship.
Chubb? The Chubb?
Yeah, it's in partnership
You had
with
an artist
Chubb.
that was a Chubb.
Yeah, that's how we opened our season with Benjamin Stalker.
Ah, very great.
Yeah.
Benjamin's outstanding. And Zach was one of the, had come back 2 years ago, I think, and had been a Chubb Fellow. And it's an opportunity for them to be able to explore a little more. They're people who are typically just on the cusp of something, and it gives them an opportunity to blossom. And it's really a remarkable program. So they're starting now, as well as our summer residents are coming next week. They start on Monday. We bring in 100 students from all over the world. They're undergraduate students or students who had just recently graduated from undergraduate school. They come and take classes in drawing, painting, and sculpture, art theory, and an art and culture class where they go out into the world and see.
And you also go to Italy, no? You go to Italy and paint live.
We have not done quite as much. We had been doing that, but not as much recently. But yeah.
There is a.
Yeah, Vincent Desiderio usually takes a group of people to Italy.
Wonderful. And so what's the next event coming up in terms of
the next event, the big event will be, and we're already in the planning stages for it, will be Take Home a Nude in the fall.
Wonderful. Maybe we'll come on podcast from
that'd be
interview
fun.
Artists. That's
Yeah.
That'd be very
all in the nude. That will boost our ratings. Yes,
yeah, it's quite
We're
an
looking
event.
for an event.
exactly.
I have
really are
to
looking
say
for
that that fellowship is so important, and it was so great to see. You give the students an exhibition at the end of it, the fellows an exhibition at the end of it, and that was great for me as a curator to see all their work. I mean, we focus on emerging artists, so it's a perfect fit to get the new meat, the fresh meat. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right out of the oven.
Yeah, and then you keep creating opportunities. I saw some of your students at Art Basel too.
Yeah.
We have like a booth with.
It was the school had a booth with, and actually I think they were the former fellows, some of the former fellows that were at Art Basel.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not making it a commercial for your school, but it is
a commercial.
It is interesting to you expand outside of academia. That's not, being an art fair as some people would, I don't know, it would be, but it is help. I think it helps artists.
It gets a lot of eyes on the work.
Yeah, and we really think that, we are part of the art world as an art school. We are not...
apart from it.
Yeah, we're not this separate institution that it is. We're a part of the world, of the art world.
Yeah. We saw him, Stalker, on the lounge, remember?
Yeah, it was in the
Chubb-
VIP lounge.
The
that we
VIP lounge.
almost got kicked out of.
Yeah, it was hard to get in.
That's how the art world works.
Gatekeeping.
And so where do you, so are you continuing your own practice right now
I do.
while you're busy administering all of these other
the
other
unfortunate
things?
thing is that sometimes takes a back seat, but especially at times like this spring when it was just so crazy busy. But yeah, my practice is eking along. No, I have a new body of work that I'm working on, and actually some of the fellows really inspired me to be able to watch them experiment. I just decided that it was time I needed to experiment with, and part of the issue for me is having been a master printer, and is you become a master of a lot of technique, and it's to help other people develop their work and their imagery and their ideas. But in doing so, you become a master of technique that doesn't utilize it towards
your own work. Yes.
So that's where I am right now, and it's a
So
really.
you're making prints, John?
Yeah, well, I'm making things. I'm not sure what they're. They're really hybrid of woodcuts with paint and pastel, and I'm just doing a bunch of things right now to see what happens.
But it's not printing.
Oh, I'm printing. I am printing. I have a press in my studio, so I'm printing with
Monoprint.
They're monotype because they're not. I use a whole bunch of different techniques in them. They're not just.
And do you offer continuing education classes?
No, I don't have time
printmaking?
for that. That would be really fun.
I would like that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I'd sign up for that.
Yeah?
I would love to learn how to silk screen. Silk screening, Andy Warhol's technique. How easy is it?
Back at when I was printing at the Plains Art Museum in Fargo, North Dakota, they had a big event that was all about Andy Warhol. Someone had allowed us to exhibit 50 of, he had collected Andy Warhol prints for years and years. And he allowed us to exhibit 50 of them. And so I developed a print using his technique. Which was so much fun. It took me a while to do the research, but 2 days of printing, and
and you figured it out.
Yeah, it was really fun.
So you can make an Andy Warhol in 5 minutes.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but
in 10 minutes.
I can do something fun
in 20 minutes. Easily. I mean, I just feel like it's a scam, the Andy Warhol thing.
I'm not sure I agree with you.
You're basically saying technique is all.
Technique. You know how to do that.
But even Andy Warhol acknowledged the importance of technique.
Yeah.
I understand, but I think it's a scam. That it's an $80 million painting, a silk screen that John can easily make in 20 minutes.
Well,
The idea.
that's we were talking about the concept of the.
That's the idea. Yeah.
Rarity, yes, and fame, where they come together.
Yeah.
Rarity.
Well, you can collect, I'll tell you, Andy Warhol's early work, his drawings, which are exquisite.
I'm sure those are worth
very
a ton
inspired,
of money.
yes.
I agree with that.
We
But
did
I just don't think.
We did a show a number of years ago of his drawings at the Academy. It was.
They were great. I saw that show. No, I'm not saying Andy Warhol is not a great drawer, painter, genius in a way, the first famous guy that figured it out. But I'm just saying that the price of an Andy Warhol silkscreen is wrong.
Do you think an apartment should be $100 million? That's probably wrong too, right?
Yeah, I guess there are a lot of wrong things. But we're not talking about all the wrong things. We're focusing on the art world.
Well, I think it's connected.
But see, that's the thing about the art world. The art world is just as it is, and it's a market, and it's a marketplace, and
you'll convince someone it's worth something to buy.
That's the thing.
Which all of your young students coming out, or older students coming out, really want to figure out. How does the art world work?
We're trying really hard. I've taken great classes in continuing ed classes.
Great.
I love taking the one where you painted the Met.
That's a great class.
It's a great class.
I mean, if you've never painted at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the way artists were trained in the 17th, 18th, 19th century. Wow, what an experience to be able
that's
to paint
not
in a museum.
exactly what happened.
Well, it's not exactly, but that's the way.
You get to be in front of a master,
Right.
And then you have a teacher from the New York Academy, and in my case, his name is Joao, and he'll come around and he'll guide me and teach me a little bit, but he's not teaching me how to.
What were you copying?
But that's it. You learn by copying the master.
Exactly. That's what Joao says. Claudia, let's take a look and see what El Greco's doing. Come with me. And so we walk closer to the Greco. It's like, look at this. This is how he's doing it. I'm like, yes, Joao, how exactly is he doing that?
Oh my God. My understanding is that's how arts education was for hundreds of years. Just copy the master, the master.
So you figured
but I'm
it
sure
out.
they taught him a little more. I'm sure they were in the class and they learned a little more things.
They could do it with a silk screen.
Yeah, Joao has this, like, Claudia, it's like the piano. The different keys in the piano. You move up just slightly a little bit higher or a little bit lower. So, Joao, if you tell me the piano analogy one more time, I'm going to scream in the mat. No, but he has taught me.
Practice makes
Because I've
perfect.
taken a lot of classes. Yeah. I've taken a lot. Manu also is great.
Yeah.
I love Manu's class. Manu is a no-nonsense person. She's very serious. She teaches you pa. And if you pay attention and you learn, one day she yelled at me. She goes, Claudia, just paint one fold. So I have no patience. And she's trying to teach me. And I'm like, I still can't paint the fold. But, she tries to yell at me. And I remember her.
So that's one of the great things about the Academy is the faculty there, because there's people like Joao and Manu Saluja. Manu Saluja is a BP Portrait Prize winner. So
she's incredible.
Everybody that's there, they're all outstanding instructors. And she's a great painter.
Yeah. And also taking classes with Maggie Rose for color, another incredible teacher. Yeah. No, you have great teachers there. What's happening? Is it 30 minutes?
I think so.
Yes, it is.
Me.
I did not kick you. I was signaling. Signaling. Yeah.
Well, it's been wonderful. I mean, I think part of how the art world works is how you
Going back to school.
Go back to school.
Going back to school.
Continue to be in school your entire life.
That's it. That's the thing. I'm like, as I was telling Leslie, we have such a range of people that are beginner painters to professional painters. And it's a remarkable place to be shoulder to shoulder with an exhibiting artist while you're just starting out. And so it's a remarkable place.
It's a good mix of ideas.
Yeah.
Right? Wonderful.
Thank you, John.
Thank you for joining us today.
I'm Claudia Baez.
I'm Matt Nasser.
I'm Bartholomew Bland.
And this is How Does the Art World Work?